Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in the world of criminals who operate above the law.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Night, brought to you by the GCRN and Audible.com. I am one of your hosts, Steve Joe and Mike, and joining me is Dion the Music Man. Hello.
Hi. Now Mike has something to pick on me about.
Stop making out with your TV.
He gets to get me back for last week, folks. So this is turnabout. For those of you, just a short synopsis. For those of you who don't know and don't live in the Kansas City area, I was featured on a news story. I was basically playing video games, but I was also trying to get a message out, a point across, which was make video games accessible for those with visual impairments, even if you're legally blind and or total. And so, if you search for KSHB TV or...
Well, I'll actually have the link in the post, but total blindness for... That's not going to work.
No, think about it.
That's like...
No, think about it, because you'll have the...
people to see a ventriloquist.
Well, no, you'll have the text-to-speech device, and that's what I was talking about. In the store... I mean, it's not in there because they had to cut a lot of it out, but...
Yeah, well, it's in the video. It's in part of it, but it's one of those things where, like, people with your condition, I can see, even people with the blindness that I have, I can see it helping, but I just can't. I don't. If there are anybody that listens to this podcast, which I highly doubt anyone listens, if you or well, we're 31 episodes in, so
yeah.
I doubt. But if you are blind, or if you are visually impaired, or know someone who's visually impaired, to me, it doesn't seem like playing a video game would be very fun for a totally black, like that can't
see anything.
Yeah, I don't think it would be very enjoyable for that person to just go off the sound.
Some people can do it though.
Yeah,
some people can.
People have different oral pleasures, I guess.
It's an
wrong use of that word.
It's an eargasmic experience.
Yes, apparently so.
But
all right, so we are here to talk about 3 more episodes of Knight Rider Classic Season 4. KITT, hit the turbo boost.
You think of a better way to get across the border than an off-road race?
I just spotted Knight. He's in the race. Go get him!
We're boxed in.
I noticed that! Ah!
There's got to be some place to start looking for this guy. Business associates, friends, girlfriends.
And all 3 describe a certain Mrs. Claudia Torrell.
I might be able to deliver that message tonight, 10 o'clock. Pour your car through the back warehouse doors.
Hurry, Michael, before the building explodes.
First up today is Night of 1,000 Devils. A murderous mobster is using a dune buggy race to cover his escape across the border. Haven't we seen this before?
I'm thinking
killer.
Yeah, I believe so.
Kind of. It's similar. I don't know who the hell's knocking on my ceiling. Christ. What the hell is wrong with people?
I don't know.
You're supposed to knock on doors, not ceilings. Well, I knew some chick who thought that the downstairs neighbor was listening in on her conversations and setting her foot on fire from their downstairs apartment. Anyway, all right. So, Night of a Thousand Devils. The plot is lackluster. It's boring. The stunt work is good, but just at this point in the series, I'm like, after the letdown, as far as like knowing how this amazing 80s show is going to end, it's like, oh god.
Yeah.
I don't honestly, between these 3 episodes this week and the last 3 the last 3 of the series that we'll talk about next week, like there are some good points and some bad points, but not like I don't have nearly as many notes as I did the last 29 episodes of this podcast. I just they must have like really been losing steam, because holy shit are these episodes bad.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that RC gets, a little more time to shine in this one. I mean, yes, David obviously is still the main character, the main star, so is KITT. But RC's kind of, it almost sounds like now that they're finally letting RC3 do a little more than what he was doing. I mean, yes, we talked about that the last time. He's back up for Michael. But the stunt work, I mean, yes, the stunt work was okay, but it seemed to be another Villain of the Week episode.
Yeah, and a really bad one, too. It just...
I don't know, because it was Villain of the Week because one villain got shot. That they thought, because you thought, oh, well, he's the main guy. Well, no, he gets shot and killed. And then they cross the border, and the girlfriend of the guy who was killed, basically she double crossed the first guy, and then the third guy, who was really the main person, turns on her. So it's like, alrighty then. So you had 3 people. One was pulling the main strings, but the other 2, they were supposed to be dating, yada yada, blah blah. And one guy gets killed. She almost gets killed. Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
It's pretty bad. It's just really, really, really bad.
I don't even have notes for scanners on this one. Except like I said, maybe a few for scanners on or something, but that's about it.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go ahead and get to the scanners. Wow, this is gonna be a short fucking podcast.
KITT, tune in, buddy. I need you.
Michael, where are you?
I don't know. I hope I didn't sign a lease.
Keep talking, Michael. I'm homing on the signal from your comlink.
All right, we are turning on or turning off the scanners. I did like that was a 1-2 punch. I thought that was kind of cool.
That was neat.
But yeah, other than that, like I've already said, I said it earlier a second ago, they're just repeating themselves now. This is so, like, you can basically take every single aspect of custom-made killer and fit it to this and retrofit it to this plot. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, it's just it's a bad. And KITT basically has no shining moments whatsoever.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, oh my god, this is so bad. Anything else you want to bring up that you didn't like?
I don't know. It was just the whole fact of, like I said, you have it was like another Villain of the Week episode. Pretty much. That's about the only thing I have to really say on that. I mean, like I said earlier, you have one villain who you think's the main one. No, he's killed. The second one's nearly killed. You find out it's this guy in Mexico or wherever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, seriously, that's who it was all along? Why didn't you just skim past all this and just do a normal, 30-minute to 48-minute episode?
Yeah. Yeah, there are way too many villains in this. Too many villains, too many hussies. Just wow. I see now where Spider-Man 3 got all its villains moments in it. It's like, holy crap! They watched that episode of Knight Rider. Oh my god! All right, let's move on to the next episode.
We're not dealing with careless campers here. We're up against an arsonist.
Daryl! Hey! Daryl!
First, you ask for time to catch an arsonist, and then you help him to escape.
Come on, buddy, both barrels. He's getting away from us. I'm losing traction on this surface.
If he chases you again, blow him away.
Get ready for evasive maneuvering. It won't work, Michael. A laser sight just locked onto me.
Up next is Hoff, Hills of Fire. An arsonist who's setting forest fires to cover a major drug deal eludes Michael by escaping over rugged terrain where KITT can't maneuver. They then have to use Sid, a flying robot who eventually gets destroyed.
Who looks like a soccer ball.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know. First of all, an arsonist setting forest fires to cover up drug deals. That's so cliche. Oh my god. This episode is basically a drug episode, and that's just not... The hell is... I know we've said this many times in the past 29 episodes. What the fuck? Did Glenn Larson just say, okay guys, we got 6 left, do whatever you want. Doesn't matter if they're good or not. Or the exact... How did this... In a day and age now where shit gets canceled after 1, 2, 3 episodes, how did this season's last 6 episodes even get picked up?
I have no idea.
I would love to see the ratings. The
Nielsen ratings?
The numbers from these Night of 1,000 Devils, Hills of Fire, what's the other one for today? Night Flight to Freedom, and then the other ones for next week that we'll cover. I would love to see the ratings for all 6 of those episodes because they couldn't have done well. Even as a kid, I didn't like any of these episodes. I just didn't. Honestly, as a kid, I think, because I've said this before on the podcast, I saw Killer KITT out of order.
Right.
And I'll bring this up next week. I saw Killer KITT before I saw Scent of Roses. And I saw Scent of Roses, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. Show's over. What's next? You know, and we'll get to that when we talk about it in episode 31, or episode 31 next week.
Right.
But Hills of Fire is just boring. It really is. Anything you want to say about the plot before we get to the scanners?
Well, again, it's another Villain of the Week episode. That's it. Short, sweet, and to the point. I mean, that's what it is. Again, you have somebody, this Sandra Rusk, and who's covering for this Gomez character who was a ex-soccer player, and it's another Villain of the Week episode. It really is.
And he would have got away with it too if it wasn't for that meddling foundation.
Sorry, I had to do it. What I don't understand, though, is why all of a sudden did they have to, wait to bring out this Sid individual, this robotic Sid with an antenna who looks like a soccer ball. I don't get it. KITT is supposed to have all these powers and stuff. I mean, true, obviously he can't fly, but surely you're supposed to have this infrared X-ray stuff, so why couldn't they have used his X-ray mode or something to that effect?
And wasn't the whole terrain thing in this episode, I'm thinking, wait a second, back in season 2, April added treads to KITT.
Yes, she did. It was drop down tires.
Right. She added but wait, they got removed when he got blowed up, when he got acided, and when he got blowed up from the ramrod. So
they had to come back.
Well, no, they didn't come back. That's what I'm saying. April added the tough down treads in season 2.
Right.
KITT got acided, rebuilt. Then
in season 3
junkyard, so they didn't come back then. And then in season 4 with the Ramrod here at the beginning with Night of the Juggernaut, when he got really destroyed and they rebuilt him, they didn't add anything back to it.
No, they didn't.
So, wow, I just talked myself out of that plot point. Anyway, let's get to the scanners.
All right, scan for incendiary residues.
I'm picking up traces of a complex petroleum compound, Michael.
Sounds like we're talking napalm. KITT, look for a possible source.
It appears to be a vehicle coming from the Douglas Ridge area.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, we have turned these scanners on, and we'll turn them off as well. Sid, at times, he reminds me of the droid from Empire.
Yeah.
Very beginning. No. The one in the very beginning, the black droid that's on Hoth that's spying on them, the sound effects that Sid incorporates here in this episode are exact same sound effects as what that used in Empire Strikes Back. So that's...
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
It sounds very, very similar to me. That's pretty much the only scanners on moment I had. Scanners off, the only thing I wrote down is overall very boring episode. I mean, it's just... There's nothing here.
It's just a villain. It's just a villain of the week episode is really what it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry to the listeners if they're expecting us to go into more detail. We would. If there was something good here, we would. And sadly, there isn't.
No.
So, we're going to move on to the final episode of the day.
The army has taken over the country.
I urge every citizen to resist the militarists.
That woman's our contact! Come on, Lisa, get in!
Track the supercar down, take the driver alive.
I'm picking up a vehicle in pursuit, Michael.
Turbo boost!
He's not who he says he is. He's with the opposition.
You're going to the wall at dawn.
Ready, aim, fire!
And finally up today is Night Flight to Freedom. Michael and RC arrive in San Duarte, and just in time to see Mount Duarte erupt for the first time since 1874. With the lava flow blocking the way in and out of the country, Colonel Paritian does something with something. This stages a coup and holds American advisor Harrison and his wife hostage. Michael joins local news reporter and guerrilla leader Lisa Corrales in her fight to resuscitate a Democratic President Sosa.
By the way, to help you, it's Peralta.
Whatever.
Well, just helping.
Not to sound arrogant and semi-racist, if it ain't American, I don't care.
I didn't say it, he did.
Yeah. if it ain't written in frickin' English.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Okay, so. Yeah, again, this plot is... It is, again, I know our phrase of the week this week is the villain of the week, but...
I think for this episode it's a bit different.
Explain, because I have
Oh, God, Lord, and heaven help me.
Oh,
because
you're the one that just spoke up and said you think it's different.
I really think it's different because it is a democratic episode. They are fighting for freedom. Everybody that lives there in San Duarte is fighting for freedom, and there is corruption in their country. And Michael is supposed to meet with Lisa Corrales. You know, she's a news reporter, and she's trying to resist the military, you know, taking over the country, and it's just complete mayhem and, you know, chaos. So it is basically them fighting for their freedom, I guess.
Version of the fucking Expendables is what it is. It's
do what?
It's have you seen the Expendables?
Yes.
It's Knight Rider, the 80s actual version of what the Expendables was a couple of years ago. It's the same damn plot. Some action hero goes into some country to save some woman and help her create democracy in that country. I've seen this shit before. And to be honest with you, Sylvester Stallone at age, oh God, what is he, 50, 60 years old, did it better than this episode, than the writers of this episode put this shit together.
Oh, come on. Hoff was only 20-something. Well, he would have probably been in his...
Listen to what I said. I said Sylvester Stallone, because he was executive producer on the movie or whatever else, he did better than the writers wrote this fucking episode. I'm not saying the Hoff did something wrong in this. I'm just saying the overall episode itself sucks. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my! But but that's basically what this is. It's basically a democratic episode, a democracy episode, however you want to look at it.
No.
So,
yeah, we're not even gonna break for scanners because the only thing I have written down is for scanners off. I have a feeling I've seen this before, and I have. It's just horrible. And not only have I seen it before currently and done better in the modern age, I've seen it before done better in Knight Rider. You've seen it with what was that? Roberto and Angie. That episode was this same kind of thing. There was another one where KITT had to go to Mexico at one point or another. Knight Rider, again, what are they doing with these last 6 episodes of this series? If NBC had actually listened to David Hasselhoff and listened to Glenn Larson and made that one episode the finale, it would have been much better.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Night Flight to Freedom sucks pretty much.
We'll get when we get to that specific episode. Yeah.
So, we're going to take a quick break, and I know this is probably not even a podcast we should put up, but this is a very, very short episode today, ladies and gentlemen. Very short. People who like short podcasts will like this one. We're going to take a break. You're going to hear some ads and some other stuff, and we'll come back with final ratings and closing thoughts after this.
Your slang is our reality. Have you ever seen a firing squad? A woman put against the wall? A man so tortured that he begs to be executed?
Coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan on September 21st and 22nd is GrandCon Gaming and Comics Convention, presented by Celebration Cinemas. Join us in playing or chatting it up with fellow enthusiasts in a community that understands your passions. Get lost in the adventure of your favorite role-playing game. Admire costumes and art from vendors and attendees. Meet the creators behind your favorite mainstream and independent games and comic books. Check out unpublished games and sneak peek at things to come. You can get all this and more at GrandCon. For more information, please visit www.grand-con.com.
KITT.
Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
We are back, and I know it's a really short episode this week, folks, and again, I apologize. Again, as I've said throughout this entire episode, these are the 3, these...
I'm not sure why NBC picked these up.
There's nothing here at all at least for me, there was nothing I enjoyed. There were no moments for KITT. There were no moments for kids with KITT, no moments with animals with KITT, nothing... Not even funny quips between KITT and Michael whatsoever in the 3 episodes we covered today. And it was just, there wasn't anything enjoyable. I didn't find anything for myself enjoyable at any of these episodes today. And I don't know how this is going to be in the future of Beyond the Night when we get to Team Knight Rider and Knight Rider 2008. But right now, I am going to break a record on this podcast. All right, so Night of 1,000 Devils, what do you rank it?
I can't give it any ranking, to be very honest.
0 to 5 KITT cars, what do you rank it?
I no KITT cars. I just can't.
So you give it a 0?
I give it a 0 because a villain of the week. It's the villain of the week thing. Too many villains in the mix. Like I said, one gets killed, the other one nearly gets killed, and you find out who the main one is. So.
All right. What about Hills of Fire? What do you give that? 0 to 5 stars.
I give it a 1 for trying, but that's if we were doing a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say 1.5, somewhere in the middle, but it gets a 1 for me, 1 KITT car.
All right, what about Night Flight to Freedom?
Night Flight to Freedom, had it done a better job, I would have given it a 5. But I have to give that one. I have to also give that one a 1, actually.
For me, 000 across the board. Every of them get a fucking 0. When I watched these episodes, I sat back. I don't know what I was eating something. I was eating a pizza. I was eating I was eating ice cream. I was eating something when I was watching these episodes, and it made me want to sink my head into whatever piece of food I was eating and just sit there with my forehead in my food and not. I didn't want to watch Knight Rider ever again after watching these 3 episodes today. They're so bad. Everything about them is bad. There are no, as I mentioned earlier, there are no Knight Rider staples. There are no good KITT moments, no good KITT lines, no nothing.
Oh, Bonnie doesn't even get, the humor moments like we've seen her in the past.
Devin doesn't even get any humor moments.
No.
There's absolutely nothing.
Neither does RC.
I know. There's nothing about these 3 episodes at all that I enjoyed whatsoever, and I'm glad I will never have to watch these fucking things ever again.
I just find it, with these, like I was saying, when we came back, I don't know why NBC picked these 3 episodes up plus the ones that we're going to talk about next week. I don't know why NBC did this. I really think, and we've said this before, you have good season openers, but horrible season endings.
Yeah.
And I don't get that.
I don't get it either. And when we do episode 31 next week, we're going to go through, I don't know if we'll do this in the intro or the closing of the show. We will go through and I will walk everyone through what it should have been for the series finales. So, for now, thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Night. There's so ways to get in contact with us, leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on every episode post. You can also join our forums over at forums.geekcastradio.com. Email us, feedback@geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter. The short name there is @BeyondTheNight. You can also follow @GeekCastRadio for all the other network updates. Mine is TFGO Mike. What is your Twitter?
The Music Man 08.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us what you're leaving a message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed, quote unquote, this episode. Join us next time when we'll be reviewing the final 3 episodes of Knight Rider Classic Season 4. Those being Fright Night, Night of the Rising Sun, and Voodoo Night. For now, I'm TFG Mike with
The Music Man 08.
Close the show.
I'll get right on it, Michael.
And keep
your scanner peeled.
right.